Hello, I'm Tom Sparrow and I'm going to show you how to make a tent peg. So I've got a sheath knife here and I've got a stick that I found in the woods. So we're going to be doing some whittling. So I'm going to take my knife out and put the sheath down, and then I'm going to start with just a few gentle strokes to start taking off some of the bark. And you want to be doing this at a 20-degree angle, and I'm keeping my arm pretty much straight whilst I whittle. I'm not trying to use just my wrist movement like that, because that's actually much more tiring. I'm trying to use the bigger muscles in my shoulder. I don't need any gloves on for this. And you can see that I'm just starting to take off the first layers of bark. And once I've taken that off at the top, I can start trying to take off some of this towards the end to make more of a point. So now I'm doing slightly shorter strokes towards the end to start getting the end of the stick into more of a fine point so that it will go into the ground. And I'm trying to get slightly more of an aggressive angle, maybe more like 30 or 40 degrees, because that means that you take off more of the wood towards the end, which just starts to get you a nice fine point, which will dig into the ground. And you can see that the point is actually already starting to emerge, and it helped because when I snapped the twig off, that came off of there, and that has actually already done half the work for me. So now I can take off a little bit more higher, and some of those bits that I missed before. Again, keep my arm as straight as I can. I'm trying to keep the grip on the knife relatively relaxed. I don't want it too loose, otherwise I won't take off anything, but too hard and I'll wear myself out. I'm just going to move my hand up a little bit. And I put a bag down just to catch any of the shavings, but that wouldn't be necessary outside. And those shavings are actually great for starting a fire as well. So I'm just going around, making sure I'm getting a nice even spread, that I'm not taking off one side too much. And there is hopefully what would be a nice tent peg, which you could use to pin down a top, or you could use to stick into the ground as a marker. You could use it as part of an activity if you were tying string with children to help with their fine motor skills. Any use really, your imagination there. And that's a really, really useful thing to have, especially if you're dealing with wet weather and you need to put a tarp up. So once I've finished, put that to the side, and then put my knife back in here, back in the sheath, put the knife in a safe place, and I